Hey, this is Petey Twofinger with polishing up Hammond boxes. Typically when you get them, depending on where you're buying it from, if you're getting a real Hammond enclosure, you may end up with slightly better finish quality. I ordered these are big ones, these are double X's, and I got these from Tata for $6.50 a piece. This one had a splash pattern on it that I'm having a hard time getting that out. But so yeah, depending on the condition of it, you may not need to go. You could just start with a 400 grit sandpaper, but I've got issues. This is a real nasty looking one with some pitting and issues. So I'm going to be using 100 grit. So we're going to use 100, and then we're going to go up to 400, and we're going to go up to 1500, and then we're going to buff it. Now in this video, really, I don't have those other tools. I've ordered some stuff on eBay for cheap. It's under $5 for some small pieces of plastic on one side that it's going to last a while. 1000 grit, and I got a 400 grit too, like an idiot. I had that here. And then I got a buffing wheel that's 50 millimeters. It's a small buffing wheel, and this is pretty much do-it-yourself. I mean, there is going to be some rubbing compound I'm going to try using that I did purchase, but that's only a couple dollars. Now, for this video, I'm going to be using this power sander here, and my tip is I tried this with and without the schnapps, we'll call it, and the schnapps is lemon juice from Aldi's. It's $2.19. So you pour about that much into a saucer, and then you take good old baking soda. You want to do it this way. You don't want to do it the other way. If you do the baking soda first, you'll end up with a Bobby Brady volcanic eruption. So unless, of course, you want to see what that looks like, I wouldn't use a real lot, because it does kind of, even with a little bit, really have a pretty decent reaction of foam and bubbles. So this is our schnapps that we're going to be making, and this is what I found applying this when before I sand to help the sanding process quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is place my schnapps down here. This is a box that I haven't really, no, that's the box I've been working on. That's the box I've been working on. Here's a box I only ran one time. What we'll do, I'm going to wipe this off real quick and then dry it and give you guys a look at what this looks like. So you get an idea of what that finish looks like. It's nasty, okay? Now this isn't, of course, this is going to take a lot of work and a lot of sanding and patience to get it to what I want it to look like, which is closer to a chrome type of finish. But seeing that it's aluminum, you're never going to get it really mirror shine. So starting off with the clean. And there you go. You can see the amount of junk that's on there. Now, one thing that a guy that I worked for, he was an English guy, like Pip Cheerio, he said he used to like to ask questions. And he would say, what do you call that thing that you're working with? And I'd say, well, it's a sander. And he said, what kind of sander is it? It's a power sander. And he said, that's exactly right. So who's going to do the work? You or the tool? And what that means is we don't want to press unbelievably hard. Yeah, my landlord's calling. We're just going to let that call ring, and we're going to call him back. Now, for an example, let's see here. That's what it looks like. So even if you were going to prep these just for painting, this would be an easy way to do this. And like you say, well, I don't have a power sander. Well, what's going to make your life a little bit easier is to get what's called a sanding block. You should have all this stuff already for building pedals, but put the sandpaper in here and use a sanding block. What's going to make your life easier is using that schnapps. So as an example, now this isn't a great example because we already cut This has only been cut one time here, the front. I'm going to go ahead and do the same procedure without any of the schnapps. And you can see it did cut. There is remnant there, but it's nothing like what we had when we used the schnapps. So it looks to me, that looks like definitive proof that this is not a bad idea. I know people are going to say, technically people are going to say, I never use any lemon juice and baking soda when I sanded my 1939 golden, well, that's fine for you. Here at Petey's Peds at Fuzz Lab, we do things, we look and try to find the tips and tricks to make our life a little bit easier. As you can see, I'm pouring sweat. I got to call my landlord back. You guys, I'll be back with more on getting a decent finish with these. I've got some $5 set of alphabet punches that you hit, and they stamp letters in, and I've got those coming. So I'm going to try to put some pedals together and not paint them and use those punches. And I just wanted to try to get them as close to chrome as I can without injuring myself in the process of sanding. So that's the idea. Let me know if you got any points on this. I know people say that it can be done, but it's unbelievably challenging to do. I'm going to try to do it with a minimum of sweat, which you can see I've already failed. All right, you guys, I got to call the landlord. There's a mattress laying up against the dumpster, and I need to get yelled at by him because everything's my fault here. So you guys take care.